Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is May 4th, 2022. So, there's a couple of upsets in sports today that I want to talk about. Um, we didn't do that really good. We didn't do that good today on Patreon. But there was something that I noticed after the game, actually during the game, that really made me upset because I'm like, how did I even miss this? So, I gave out like 4 picks, and this was one of the picks that I gave out today. The NHL playoffs started today, and today was game one between Pittsburgh and the Rangers. Now, I was favoring the 53 Riddle with the Rangers. I thought they was going to pick up their 53rd win of the season on 5-3 on May 3rd. But then I noticed this during the game when it went to overtime. And I did a hedge bet and got some of my money back. But I wish I would have saw this before because this was it was so in my face. I'm like, how did I miss this? Oh my gosh. So the Rangers, right? They had 110 points in the regular season, and the Penguins finished with 103. Now today, the Penguins won in overtime, right? The game went to 3 overtimes, and in overtime, when you lose, you get a point, and the winner gets 2 points, right? Which means that the Penguins now have 105 points, and the Rangers have 111. And notice in gematria, Penguins is 105 and 111. And it makes sense for the Rangers to have 111 points because that's a big New York number. I'm just upset that I didn't see this. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I'm upset. I'm so sorry, you guys on Patreon. My bad. Oh man. This is not gonna happen again. I'm sorry. I should have saw this, man. This was such a lock. If I would have saw, oh my gosh. Yeah, but this is how they're rigging the games, you guys. It gets a little difficult sometimes because the games are sometimes they have double coded narratives that could go either way. But stuff like this, it usually comes through. Penguins is 105 and 111, and that's how many points each team has now for the season. The Penguins have 105, and the Rangers have 111. Stuff like this, it usually comes through. I was favoring the 53 Riddle. 5-3 May 3rd, picking up their 53rd win. Because I've seen that happen a lot before, and that's why this stuff gets tricky. Because some things that happen sometimes doesn't happen all the time. Because I've seen a lot of times in hockey where the date, it's reflected in the amount of wins that team has. Like I've seen teams get like on April 4th, they'll get their 44th win and stuff like that. So I've seen that pattern come through before, but I'll overlook this right here. Bang. The Rangers had 110 points. They lost in overtime to get 111. Also on Patreon we had the Dodgers to beat the San Francisco Giants. Right now it's in the top of the eighth. Now this is another good riddle. We had the Dodgers. Hopefully the Dodgers finish it off. And it was mainly because in gematria, Los Angeles equals 37 and 53. And on May 3rd, which is written 5-3, the Dodgers can become 15 and 7 for the season, and 157 is the 37th prime number. And I think that's gonna come through. I do expect the Dodgers to be 15 and 7 today after they beat the San Francisco Giants. There's a lot game left. They still have another 4 outs to get before they win the game. If the Giants don't tie it, but so there's a lot of baseball left. So let's see what happens. They're only down 1 run, and 37 happens to be the 12th prime. The score is 1-2 right now. Now this game here, the Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies. I was actually favoring the Warriors in this game, even though I got the Grizzlies being in the finals. I thought the Warriors gonna be up 2-0 and eventually lose the series. But because remember, in the beginning of the season, actually back in February, I had the Bulls playing the Grizzlies in the NBA Finals. Now the Bulls are eliminated, but I still have the Grizzlies beating everybody in the West and making it to the NBA Finals. The 2 seed, and I'm thinking maybe they'll have the 2 seed play the 2 seed, which is the Boston Celtics. I don't expect the Boston Celtics to win any more championships. They have 17. and that is the big NBA number. NBA equals 17. So I don't expect the Lakers or the Celtics to ever win again. Just like I don't expect the Yankees to ever win another World Series. So maybe you'll see the 2 seed play the 2 seed in the year 22. But if the Grizzlies do go to the finals, I do expect them to win it, because it was either them or the Bulls, and the Bulls are eliminated. So the Grizzlies are the team that I have winning it all this year. And notice they won with 106 points. Memphis is 106. And then the Warriors had 101, and finals is 101. So maybe that's what they was trying to tell us. But something that, and then somebody in the chat in the Patreon told me that that I'm doing weak decodes because they noticed something at halftime and that I didn't notice. I mean, how am I supposed to find out something about something that they're gonna point out in halftime and call out the game before the game starts? Like, how am I gonna know that? Somebody said that during the halftime. Shout out to the person that showed me this, because this is a great observation. I'm not a hater, even though a lot of you get disrespectful when we get stuff wrong. The person told me that during the halftime score between the Warriors and the Grizzlies, the score was 51-56, and the Memphis Grizzlies improved to 51-56 against the Warriors all time. And that was the halftime score, 51-56. Now, the thing is, how am I supposed to know that before the game, that they're going to show you that at halftime? It's just like, yeah, you notice it at halftime, but are you going to notice that before the game? You're not. But notice it says here that the Memphis Grizzlies are 51-56 in the regular season and playoffs versus the Warriors all time. And that was the halftime score today, 51-56. So they were letting you know that the Grizzlies was going to pick up their 51st win against the Warriors. Again, that's something that we will not notice before the game is played. What I was favoring in this game is, because they usually do a lot of circle rituals with Stephen Curry. And today, which was a day with 50 numerology, it was also 50 days after Stephen Curry's birthday. And the word circle in gematria equals 50. And Steph Curry was born on Pi Day. Pi is the mathematical equation of a circle. So I was thinking, like, because remember during the All-Star game, they had a big circle ritual with Stephen Curry. So I'm thinking maybe they were going to do the same thing in this game with the 50 numerology and the 50 days after his birthday. But then, a person on Patreon pointed out this, and it made sense for them to do that, because that's how they mock the fans, because they know the fans are not noticing stuff like this. Their fans are too busy looking at the game. The halftime score is 51-56. The Warriors become 51-56. The Grizzlies become 51-56 versus the Warriors. And this is what they do all the time. I've educated about this before. Usually, like, something that I pointed out before in my other videos is, if you watch a football game, and usually at the moment that they stop the clock, it'll indicate what that team's record will be. Like, one time, it was a Raiders game, if I remember correctly, and they was playing the Dolphins. And the Raiders actually lost that game. But the Raiders quarterback, he spiked the ball with exactly, I think it was 13.3 seconds left on the clock. And the Dolphins were 12-3 at that time. Their record for the season was 12-3, right? Football equals 133. But the Raiders quarterback, if he would have, because they was at the 1 yard line, if he would have scored the touchdown, they would have went up by 7, and the Dolphins would have had, they would have went up by, I think, 9 points. And the Dolphins would have had no chance to come back with 13 seconds left on the clock, right? But instead, you know what Derek Carr did? Derek Carr spiked the ball to stop the clock at 13.3, and they kicked a field goal. So they only went up by 6 points instead of going up by 9, right? So I'm like, why would they do that? But then I noticed it. I'm like, oh, look, the Dolphins are 12-3. They're going to come back in 13 seconds. And what they did, they threw a Hail Mary. Well, it wasn't a Hail Mary, but they threw a deep pass with like 60-yard pass. The Dolphins receiver caught it. He ran out of bounds. Now there was like what? All that happened in like 4 seconds. So there was 9 seconds left. Then the Dolphins quarterback threw it again, and they got all the way to the 1 yard line of a pass interference call, and ended up scoring the touchdown in less than 13 seconds. They did all that. They made it all the way downfield. And what I was telling people is like, look, when they stopped the clock at 13.3, they was letting us know that the Dolphins was going to improve to 13-3 for the season. So maybe that person that pointed out this to me today learned from me. Instead of getting disrespectful and pointing out when we get stuff wrong, because I'll be honest, I get a lot of stuff wrong when I'm decoding these games, because these games are a mathematical equation. This stuff is not easy. Stuff like this, if you're not paying attention, then this stuff you're not even gonna notice it, because they'll flash out. I mean, how many people are paying attention to the halftime score anyway? Very few. And how many people are paying attention to the time? Very few. Very few fans are doing that. But if you study carefully what they're doing, look at the numbers, because all these numbers are rituals. All these numbers that you see on the screen, every time they stop the clock, the score, it's all a ritual. Yeah, you can point. If you're paying attention, you could catch stuff like this. But it's hard doing this when you're by yourself, because there's a lot of things to look at. But let's see what the Dodgers are doing. So it's the bottom of the 8th. They need 3 more outs. I do expect the Dodgers to be 15-7 on 5-3. All right, so we got this correct. Now the Penguins game, I got it wrong but I was able to hedge, thank God. But I'm like, this is a riddle that I should have nailed. I'm so sorry. This is something I should have nailed. I don't miss stuff like this. And the person that pointed out the halftime score and how that reflected the all-time record between Grizzlies and Warriors, instead of showing us that after the game is over, once you see it, leave a nice comment. And I'll definitely, because I read every comment. Every time I get a notification, I read it. If it's a positive one, I respond. If it's a negative one, I'm going to delete it because I don't like negativity. But if I see something like, you letting me know that, oh, look, it's 51-56, and right now the Grizzlies are 50-56 against the Warriors, I'm going to let all my patrons know about that. So, you see, you could be helpful instead of being a troll and being disrespectful. You can help out a lot of people make a lot of money and recover from their losses. Because like I said, this stuff is hard, and when you're doing it by yourself like I am, it gets even more difficult. I don't need to remind people what I've done in the past. The reason this is what you guys have to understand. I could go a week straight of getting everything wrong, and I'm still going to have people supporting my Patreon. You want to know why? Because I've proven myself. All right? I've set records. I've done things that very few people have done in the world. Like go throw 23-0. Like predict, NBA championships after championships. I've done that. I've gotten a lot of stuff wrong. But I also have done a lot of remarkable things in this community. So when you see me getting stuff wrong and you still see people on my Patreon, it's because those people have been there from the beginning and they know what I'm capable of doing. And even when I get stuff wrong, I'm able to see why I got it wrong. Because, just because you got something wrong doesn't mean the games are not rigged. The games are still rigged. I would like for more people to help me out. And I'm coming to you, point it. There's no way you're going to point this out before the game. So, but, during halftime, you could point it out during halftime. Because, that will make us, go to the live betting and, it'll give us a chance to recover our losses. Yeah, but how many people are showing you guys, what I've shown you with the Pittsburgh Penguins today? That 105 and 111 ritual. How many people are showing you that? You think handicappers know about this? You think there's anybody in the world letting you know why the Rangers have 111 points for the season? Besides the people in the community, obviously, right? But who else is showing you this? So if I got the Rangers and I got it wrong, okay, troll me, whatever. but that's not gonna help out anything. And the reason I'm making this video, because I could have easily not made a video and then not let anybody know that I was wrong today, right? But the reason I'm making this video is for people to learn how they're rigging the games. Yes, I missed this riddle, but you can still learn from it in the future, because I guarantee you next year, the year after that, it's going to happen again. You're going to see a situation where one team can pick up their 111th point and the Penguins can pick up their 105th. Because this stuff is very repetitive. So maybe next year you'll remember like that. Oh, look, I watched that video Simple Truth TV did, and he was talking about how Penguins is 105 and 111. And look, this team they can do it again. That 111 and 105 ritual. Like that day he told us about the Rangers in the Penguins game, that it happened that game. So maybe it'll happen again, and then you can make some money off that. Because that's what this stuff is about. It's about learning how they're rigging the games, proving that they are rigging the games, and showing you exactly how they're doing it with gematria. I don't care about being right or wrong. I've been wrong a lot, and I'm gonna continue being wrong, because again, this work only has been out a few years. We know a lot in the few years that we've been exposing this. We've learned a lot. So imagine we would have been taught this in kindergarten. I would have been an expert, but I would have been decoding with my eyes closed. But they don't teach us this in school. Remember that. None of us graduated from Gematria University. Somebody else pointed this out to me, because I've been talking about Young Dolph. Back in my February video when I put out my finals prediction, I was talking about how Young Dolph, who was born in Chicago, died in Memphis, how this was all a tribute to Young Dolph. That's why I had the Bulls. I didn't have the Bulls because I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. It's because of all the riddles that they've been showing us in the mainstream, with the death of Young Dolph, the death of the rapper Snooty Wild, and all the other stuff that we've been documenting with Memphis and Chicago. Now, obviously, Chicago's out, so maybe they're doing something else. But ask yourself, what are the odds that Young Dolph, you see him right here, he comes out in Ja Morant's rookie card? I mean, what are the odds of that? He's shown in Ja Morant's rookie card. Ja Morant. Young Dolph, dead in Memphis. We've been talking about how his death is synced up with the NBA Finals this year. I don't know how they're gonna. What are they doing? We're maybe putting Boston in there, putting Miami in there. I don't understand the other half of the riddle, but the Grizzlies are looking really good right now, and like I've said, they look like the best team in the West Coast. So the Dodgers just scored another run, right? LA is 13. Scores 1-3. So this is what I'm saying. If I had more eyes helping me, we would have nailed a 3-team parlay today, because we would have saw. Actually, no, because I would have got this wrong, because again, I was not gonna notice this before the game started, but whatever. We would have had a nice solid 2-teamer. Right? We would have had the Penguins to win and the Dodgers to win. But, being that I'm the only person looking at all this, it gets difficult. I'm going to get a lot of stuff wrong. I hope more people join the Patreon, more people help out and collaborate. Don't just wait for me to give you a pick. Help out. Decode it yourself. Nobody's willing to do that, People just expect you to be perfect every day. What else I wanted to talk about? So this Ja Morant rookie card. Maybe there's more to this riddle. Because I don't understand the matchup, right? So they'll have the Grizzlies. I don't understand the Young Dolph connection with any other teams left in the East. I don't understand it. But we'll soon find out. And I'm telling you, once the finals come, Young Dolph is gonna be synced up in there. Speaking of Young Dolph, let's just look up something real quick. Okay. Adolph Thornton. Remember, his name is equals 56, and the Grizzlies won 56 games this season. So this looks like this whole season has been a tribute to this man. That's what it looks like. Would have made more sense for it to be the Chicago Bulls because that's where the guy's from. But whatever. Maybe they're obviously doing something else with this Riddle. The Bulls don't make it in their 56th season? What? Strange. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing to Adolph Thornton yet, you know. Yeah, but once I learn exactly what's going on, because, you know, the deeper the playoffs go, the closer we get to the finals date, you know, the clearer the narrative will be. But right now, I'm not understanding the other half of it, you know. What's the significance of having the Celtics, the Bucks, or Miami? I don't think Philly will be in there. A lot of you like Philadelphia, but I don't think Philadelphia will be in the finals. It's either Miami, the Celtics, or the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Milwaukee Bucks, I think that they showed their true colors today. They can't win without Middleton. Well, they can't win a 7-game series against the Celtics without him. So it'll be the Celtics or the Miami Heat. So. Let me see what you guys think. So I'm gonna go to the chat, see if you guys wanna add on anything. Yeah, I agree. Bradley Martinez says that the Young Dolph died for the Grizzlies. I think he did. I said this in the video that I did in February. I do agree. Somebody says they want that rookie card. Yeah, it's probably worth a whole bunch of money though, because it's such a viral picture now. Yeah, it's probably worth a whole bunch of money because it's super viral. Oh yeah, you know I try to be very transparent. You know, if I get something wrong, I'll let people know that I got it wrong. If I didn't see something, I'll tell people, listen, I missed it. Help me out, you know. Yeah, he did have 47 points. Oh yeah. You know what? It was 38 weeks after his birthday. It was also 266 days, which is the Jesuit motto. Isis Hamanon Sabator. But that's why I thought he was gonna fall to 5-6 versus. I thought he was gonna fall to 5-6 versus the Warriors because, you know, 56 is connected to the Society of Jesus, 266 days after his birthday. But instead, he became 6-5. You know, he became 6-5. I he was 5-5 coming into this game. I thought he was gonna become 5-6, like 56. Society of Jesus 56. You know, they won 56 games, but then he became 6-5. Um, I'm thinking 95. Yeah, I gotta sit down and really concentrate on what they're doing. With the Grizzlies and in the finals. But that's not too bad. You know, if I gave out 2 picks, the 2 teams that's gonna be in the finals, and I get one right, I mean that's not bad, right? Because the Grizzlies, they had that their odds was like plus 600 when I put out that video. Actually, go watch the video. I showed the odds in that video. The odds were amazing for the Grizzlies to win it, to go to the finals. They might do Bucks and Warriors. I don't think they're gonna do that, man. Those teams, even though I get it, it's rigged and stuff like that, but when they have these big time players go down and with injuries, they're letting us know that that team is not ready or prepared for the finals. I mean, how many times you seen a team with injuries win it or actually be there without one of their star players? It's very rare. Usually, the team has to be in full strength. Look at past history. I mean, the healthiest team right now in the postseason are the Memphis Grizzlies, and you could say maybe the Boston Celtics, but yeah, the Boston Celtics are the healthiest team in the East, and the Memphis Grizzlies are the healthiest team in the West. And I know it's rigged, but that does play a part because that they are promoting it like it's real. That's why they have all these fake injuries because they wanted to make it seem like it's realistic. Oh, the Bucks didn't win because they didn't have Chris Middleton, So I guess we could leave it there. See if the Dodgers pull through. You can't laugh at this game because they are about 2 runs, so the line is gonna be terrible. But my NBA Finals video, I'll make it once I'm ready. Because I don't want to be wrong again. Because I got the Grizzlies, but I want to be 100% sure on who's going to represent the Eastern Conference. And I want to understand the whole riddle. Because every year, the Finals is a big riddle. They do this in every sport. So I think I can leave it there. If you want some sports information, you want to join the Patreon. I only give out picks on Patreon, not on YouTube anymore. I'll leave a link in the comment section. The link should be right there under the screen somewhere. I'm not sure if I posted it, but it's patreon.com, Simple Truth TV. And, if you're on the Patreon already, be more proactive and collaborate with each other. The comment section, that's what it's for. It's not for, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, another wrong pick. Oh, finally he gets one right. That's not what the comment section is for. Comment section is for, hey, Simple Truth, look at this. Look at this. Hey, guys, you want to take a shot at this game? Look at this riddle. Bang, bang, bang. That's what the comment section is for. People use it for the wrong reasons. This is why we don't, this is why we don't elevate. But again, I just want to apologize that I saw this so late, Whatever, man. They got me. Can't get them all, though. But I'll leave it there. I might come back and talk about, something else. So if not, I'll see you guys later on tomorrow.